G'day listeners, welcome to Bar Karate, the sailing podcast. Another week done, another great week of action to discuss. My name is Jordan Spencer and joining me is my good mate Brett Perry, BP.
Greetings, Exalted One.
At last, the technology is coming together. We're all together in Australia and we're able to talk together as one.
I can't believe we're all in Australia. It's crazy. When did that last happen? Hey, mate.
No, last week just was not easy, I can tell you that much. I was only getting every second word and it didn't make sense to me, none of it.
Nah. And then the hilarious thing, you send me a note afterwards saying you sort of just hung up and walked over to the pub to discover they had 5G.
Yeah, the crazy part was I locked into a cold schooner after being a bit sort of frustrated about it all. And I said, mate, have you got some Wi-Fi here? And he goes, yeah, give us your phone. Logged me in, bang, straight up to 40, 50 megabytes. So I was, could have been there having a beer with you.
Yep. That's a lesson from now on when we're travelling. Always go to the pub first and ask there. It's the golden lesson.
Yes. Yeah, stay out of the business centres. That's it.
All right, and...
He had a voice that could make a wolverine purr.
Mr. Nick Bice, where are you, mate?
G'day, listeners. G'day, men. I am in Adelaide. Got the test cricket running in the background. So if you hear a little jump or see a little jump for that matter, we've got another wicket.
Good work, mate. And you were just in Newcastle following up on the Bar Karate Lager. So that's news for later on. But you've been following up on that just in Newcastle?
Yeah, well, I attended the AGM for Founders First, who is going to be basically heading up how we're going to produce Bar Karate Lager or whatever beer it may be for that matter. And we'll discuss that a little later. But being in Newcastle, actually, the last time I was there was you and I, Jordan, down the yacht club giving a talk on the Volvo Ocean Race.
Yep. And can you imagine how dark some of those sailors would be if they knew how badly that bid was stuffed up? They had it in the bag.
Yeah.
Some of the secrets we could tell.
Royally. And, one, you look down that foreshore there, along the river, just fantastic.
Perfect setup.
Spot for Ocean Race stopover.
Yep.
It would definitely get the support. It's close enough for Sydney for people to come up.
Yep.
And fantastic yachting. And let's face it, there's some pretty shit yachties out of that region too, with one being Nico. We've got Bubsy there as well, Tommy Braywood, a couple of boys who've been in the race, not to mention all the up-and-comings. And Cole and the rest.
Slingsby.
Yeah.
Langford. A few people out of there.
Outridge.
Yeah.
But let's keep the fire burning there because I think it has a huge potential.
Yeah.
We've already not this time around. It's certainly going to grab it in the future.
Well, we've corralled all the data and people, and we'll do it next time around. But they had it. It was just I won't say what happened, but anyway. If the people knew, they'd get pretty dark. Boss, we also copped a few barbs for our business class post. I just want to point out to the listeners, after 550,000 kilometres in the last 18 months, 13.5 times around the planet, and you must be double of that, that is the first time we've been able to pull that off. I think we deserved it.
Probably the first time we've actually sat next to each other on a plane.
Crazy, isn't it?
And... don't be afraid of spending your bloody air points the rest of the tight asses out there. That's what we're here to do.
All right. Enough banter. Shall we? We got a great guest this week. You guys want to bring her in or what?
How cool is this going to be tonight?
Yeah, it's going to be great. So we've been trying to...
Bit of a giggle.
We've been trying to put this together for a few weeks. I must admit, the travel and having us all in different parts of the world, we went for a European sailor and then it turned out she was in Oz. And so she stuffed us and we've tried a few weeks to get her involved. But we would like to introduce the female World Sailor of the Year, Anne-Marie Rindom from Denmark. Welcome.
Ooh, yeah.
Welcome.
Hi, thank you.
We're very excited to have you.
I'm so excited to be here. Finally, finally, I have some time on Sundays. It's crazy that there are no more time on Sundays. Seriously.
Oh well.
It's normally the day we rest, but there's just no time.
No, that's it. It's all work. And boys,
Yeah.
Anne-Marie hasn't told you actually where she is right now. Ask her where she is.
Where are
Please.
you, Anne-Marie?
Do tell.
I'm up in Noosa, in the part. Yeah.
Very nice.
It's really a great place. Yeah, we ended up here on the holiday, so that's pretty great.
Fantastic. I can certainly think of worse places. The only bad thing about Noosa is you're a bit too close to Mr. Jordan Spencer down on the Sunshine Coast.
She could have been in Studio J.
Exactly.
I was actually there 2 days ago, so in Sunshine Coast.
Yeah. Well,
Visiting. That was,
All right, let's get past that. So first off, current world champion. You're the laser radial is what your mastery is. Current world champion.
yes.
Here in Japan, you won the world champs. You got first in 2015 in the laser radials. 13th at the 2012 Olympics. Hey? Yep.
Yeah.
Have I got it right?
Yeah, that was in Oman. Yeah.
And and then just cruising on. I think bronze at the last Olympics. Am I getting that right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, good.
That's correct.
Good. All right, and World Sailor of the Year. So there's pretty much. Why are you so good?
Just World Sailor of the Year.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Just won a Rolex. Woo!
Oh.
Maybe gonna sell it next time.
I've been sailing in this. I've been working in this industry. Working in this industry for 30 years, and I'm yet to win one. What's going on?
Talent.
You still have time. You're still a young fellow, right?
Yeah, going well.
So, Anne-Marie, what's your secret?
The serious one or just the silly one?
Serious.
Silly.
Both.
Give us the serious.
We can give you silly.
I laugh so much that everybody just gets confused, and then they let me go in front. Maybe. No, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just there's a lot of things just happening this year. A lot of different factors that went into place. I'm getting older, maybe a little bit wiser. I don't know, nowhere to go on the race course, and it's I don't know if there is one secret actually. It's just I'm enjoying it. I think that's the most important thing.
Exactly, that's the secret right there.
I think
enjoying it.
Boyce in there about to jinx each other. Yes, that's the secret.
Yep. Just get out there, go sailing, and have a good time. So you sail a boat that's very hard to get speed out of. Like you've got to work really hard to make a laser go fast. There's no. Do you like the pain?
Not really. No. No, I don't like it. Actually, it's a worst boat to sail in the Olympic program. It's slow. It's old. And it's like, it's so old-fashioned. You can't believe it. It's like, oh, come on, just do some development in this boat. But
how's the honesty? How is the honesty?
Huh?
How is the honesty?
We love that. We love the honesty.
Yeah, I'm really honest. I'm very straightforward. Also, no secrets, no coverage, no anything. But yeah, it's but okay, to be fair, it's the cheapest boat to sail in the Olympic program. So it's a very good boat if you have a lot of money but don't have so much money as the 49ers or Negra. So yeah, it's definitely not cheap, but it's the cheapest boat. So
copy.
And you're alone, so you can decide yourself what you want to do on the water. That's pretty nice also.
How do you get on with all the other women? Because, as you say, you're alone on the boat. So you guys get on really well off the water, or is there rivalry? Seeing you really honest.
Well, I'm trying to stay out of it actually, but there is definitely some bitching going on in the fleets. I mean, we're girls, so it's a little bit. I think guys are a little bit better at just, you know, they have a lot of things going on in the water. They come back to shore and they clap each other on the shoulder, and then poof, it's fine. But us, we can be a little bit mad for a couple of days before we realize, okay, maybe it's not. Maybe we shouldn't be mad anymore. Where we should just leave it.
So who should we keep an eye on in the upcoming events for a bit of off the water discussion?
Ooh. That's a really straightforward question, isn't it?
Well, I do. But
obviously, I cannot say any names. I mean, it's impossible for me. I cannot say any names. But yeah, we have our fights. I mean, okay, if I have to tell you one story about my own team, then so I'm training with a Norwegian girl, and she's very sweet. He's called Line. She's very good also. And yeah, we go along really well, but sometimes we crash like a lot, you know, screaming at each other in the water and everything. And then you think, okay, it's going to be fine. We're going to come back in and we leave all, you know, the sailing to the water, but we come back in and we are still fighting and, you know, stuff like that. But it's good because then we get to know each other better in different ways.
So that to me sounds like a healthy rivalry, not so much a competitive rivalry.
But then I have to say, you know, she's one of my best friends also. So
there you go.
Yeah.
How does your coach handle it?
Well, he's actually pretty good. You should think because he's from Poland and he's very much like a military guy-ish. But now he got a baby, so he's much more emotional and much better at just dealing with our crying sometimes on the water and screaming and just in general, he's handling really well actually. Right. It cannot be easy to coach girls. Definitely not.
It can be sometimes, but you can also have a lot of fun. I find coaching women can be they're more attentive. They try harder. I reckon. I actually quite enjoy coaching females, so I'll be honest.
I think it's because we are in the sky world that we just have to try and try harder than the guys maybe.
I think that is the truth.
You have to prove that we work.
Hey, now we've had this debate on bar karate. So leading into the World Sailor of the Year vote, we actually forecast who would win, and we picked you. We picked the Opti Sailor, and we picked the winning team, which was the Wizard team. And then, of course, the whole world sailing vote is a popular vote. So we've actually worked backwards from that and worked out that because we said that, that's how people voted. So we're actually claiming that we won your vote because we've got so many followers now. What do you think about that?
Oh.
Not to mention cool. your great sailing though.
Oh yeah, that goes without.
We don't want to forget that.
So it's actually you guys' fault that I won. Congrats!
Well,
thank you so much for helping.
Pretty much.
I have to write on my Facebook page special thank you to you guys.
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
Even though I don't have so many followers, maybe 1,000 or something like that.
That's fine.
That's all right. Just mention bar karate and you'll be up there with us.
Yeah. Let's get into it. So, is your family a sailing family?
My dad is. Yeah.
Right.
The whole side of his family are sailors. My mom hates sailing, so. We get a little bit of both sizes. So every summer holiday we had to go out sailing for 3 weeks because my dad loved it, but my mom secretly hated it every year. So
was that like
now they're divorced.
A cruising boat, or you just like had a house on the water and you were sailing dinghies and stuff?
We had like a big boat going on summer holidays.
Yep.
Yeah. It was not really a boat that were meant to have a family in. It was more like a going fast boat.
Okay.
I mean, you could sleep there, but it was not like the other fancy boats with flowers and a nice cushion and stuff like that. It was more like tough.
No wonder Mum liked it so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But you got your start in an Opti, yeah, about 5 years of age. Gee, that's early. 5.
I have I have three siblings, and they all started. So I wanted to sail also, and I was only 5, and my dad was like, "Oh yeah, well, let's just buy an Optimist for like €10," and so he did, and he put me in it, and I just screamed the first couple of times, and then it was fine after that.
Cool.
So,
If mum hates sailing and dad loves it, like dad must be through the roof to have you as his daughter World Sailor of the Year. Your mum must be going, well, I got to pretend I love sailing now, and your siblings must be going, where did we go wrong?
No, they're very backing me up on everything, and it's really nice to share the sailing with them, and they still love to go on the water and stuff like that. And my mom, she's not so fond that I'm traveling so much, but she's very backing me up in everything I do. So that's great. But she's also more the type that is saying, it's gonna be nice as long as you just enjoy your regatta and your time there. That's the most important stuff. Don't think about the results. And my dad is more like, come on, go for it. So it's good to have a little bit of each.
Yeah. I just got this vision of your old man, or your dad, sorry, old man is an Australian term for dad, wandering around the yacht club just going, she's my daughter, she's my daughter. Yeah,
yeah, maybe, I don't know. He's very low-key, my dad. So.
Okay. All right.
I just asked him if he wanted to be on an interview. We're doing this small videos for the Olympics, and he was like, "Nah, maybe can I just avoid not going?" And I said, "No, you can't. You have to be in it."
Good.
So
good. We'll be able to look at him. Okay. So you're in Australia. Do you come to Australia every year?
Not every year, but I've been. So last year we did a training block in Perth, and it was really great, and the season was so awesome. So we kind of copy it a little bit for this winter season as well.
Yeah, because you've just been in Fremantle training.
Yeah, I have. And we still have 3 weeks to go.
Oh, so you're actually still over in Fremantle, yeah? But obviously having a week in Noosa, and then you're back to Freo.
Yeah.
Do you say Freo
Yeah, exactly.
yet? Have you got that worked out yet? Freo?
Freo, yeah, and the Freo doctor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Freo doctor is coming.
I was just about to say the Freo doctor. How are you enjoying sailing in that breeze? Because it's quite notorious globally.
Oh, it's so awesome. We like it. We love it. Every day there is wind coming, and it's just so nice.
So who have you got over there? Obviously your coach and your Norwegian friend, or who else is in the training camp?
Norwegian friend.
So there is a Danish girl, very young girl, coming as well with me, and we're training together, and we're just mates. Apparently called mates here in Australia.
Yep.
And
Yep.
she's very nice to have around and train with. She's like the strongest girl ever. She was doing pull-ups today, just saying 5 pull-ups 5 times with 15 kilos extra.
Yeah.
So
Nothing.
completely insane. I mean, it's so she's obviously a good push to have around, and and then we're training with the Aussies.
Oh, yeah.
So that's great.
Who are you training with there?
Zoe, and then Jacinta was there last year, but then her sister Elise is also there, and then a bunch of young guys who is, they're really good. I mean, they're getting taller and stronger every year. And the first day, one of the guys were. So we were doing a speed test, and then he just completely rolls me. And the coach is like, no, not on the first day. And I'm like, oh, okay. This is going to be a long camp.
Hey, BP.
Yo.
I was just trying to do the math in my head. If I have 20 beers, 8 sips per beer, that's 160 repetitions of a beer starting at half a kilo. That's pretty strong, I reckon.
Yeah, it's up there. It's up there. I mean, it really only works a very select group of muscles, though. It's just the forearm.
Exactly.
That's it, and stretches your stomach as you.
Yep.
So.
No, sorry.
So the interesting thing is that you're doing all your training in Fremantle, but you've got World Champs coming up in February in Victoria at Sandringham Yacht Club. So you'll stay in Australia till then, or will you go home?
No, I go home for Christmas. And in January, we're going to Portugal, actually. Well, we don't have the boats in Melbourne, so we're just going to train in Portugal and then come back for the Worlds
Where
in
in
Melbourne.
Portugal?
And also, I heard that it's really cold in Melbourne, so we don't really want to go there. It's just a joke we have. So it's so nice in Australia, but in Melbourne, nah, not so much. I will see. I hope you guys are not from Melbourne.
No.
We're from another cool.
We're a long way away. Yeah, exactly.
That's good. That's good.
Just a question: have you ever sailed in Melbourne before at all? Did you say you've ever sailed there before or not?
Yeah, one time.
Okay, so
at
you're
the World
familiar.
Cup final.
You're familiar with the Port Phillip Bay sea conditions. It's quite challenging, eh?
It is. It's a very difficult place to sail,
Actually,
but it's good. It's demanding. You can get a little bit of different conditions there, so that's good.
that short chop they get is kind of the same as Fremantle. They get nice little short chop into Freo on that shallow water. So
yeah, it's very technical demanding actually, and also the waves are coming. I remember that it was a little bit skewed to the wind direction.
yeah.
So the way you have to sail the boat is it's quite different from other places where you can surf the waves all the time.
Yeah.
But that's how I remember it. That it was just going by the lee or going positive sailing a lot. So
Yeah, cool. All right,
definitely going to be a challenging Worlds.
so we're in Portugal going to do some training for our Portuguese friends that might come down and say good day. We've got plenty of Portuguese listeners.
Yeah, we're going to go to Vila Moa like everybody else.
Lovely.
Yeah. That's a great place. We were there last year.
Yeah.
I remember it was a great place, but there was a lot of dogs, and somebody got bitten by dogs. Yeah, it was so strange. Like everybody was so afraid of going on bike rides and stuff because they were bitten by dogs.
Wow.
Yeah, just
And I
out
mean,
in the
okay,
countryside there, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And even on the harbour, actually, there was one day where there was some free dogs just coming and biting people.
Very cool.
Yeah, we'll see.
Nick and I actually were just in Portugal only a couple of days ago. So, yeah.
We managed to avoid the dogs, though.
Yep.
You'll be pleased to hear.
It was just pouring with rain, though. That's the only down. And it was cold in the water. Ooh-wee, it was cold. It was for me, anyway.
Yeah, I guess coming from Denmark, I won't be bothered so much.
Yeah,
by that.
It blows our mind. I've got to be honest. I think I speak for all three of us. It blows our mind that you can get such talent to come out of those parts of Europe and sailing, because I don't know how often you get to sail a year and how, you know, like here in Australia, we put a pair of shorts and a T-shirt on and go for a sail. And you basically have to chip the ice off your boats to go sailing. And it's dark.
Yeah, it takes like more time to get ready than in the actual sail. Yeah, actually, if you think about it like that, it's crazy. But I think that people just enjoy it so much in the summer that is, you know, it's so much work to actually go on the water. So once you're there, you really have to train, because otherwise it's a waste of time. So
I think the reason they're so fast is because it's so cold they want to get off the water quicker. Stuff. This is bullshit. I'm out of here.
Fair enough.
Yeah, and now we're actually not sailing in Denmark actually so much anymore. So I remember the last time I was in the sailing in the winter in Denmark, there was ice on my Vang system. So much ice that you cannot pull it. So I was like, this is not for me anymore.
Just go without.
I just go to Aussie. Yeah, Australia.
Oh, man, I couldn't even imagine. You guys are much harder than us. I don't even know how you do it. So speaking of that sort of thing, like growing up sailing, it's on your dad's side of the family. Like, do you have like someone that you grew up thinking is a bit of a legend from your area, like a sailor that's sort of really important in your mind?
I think the guy that were... So there's obviously Paul Elström, but he was not really. I never actually spoken to him. But he's from Denmark, and people are, I'm quite fond of him because he invented the hiking strap, for example, which is like, wow, he was really thinking outside of the box and everything. But I think
he invented the
a person
van.
that is a little bit closer. A person is a little bit closer is Jesper Bank, which were winning gold 2 times. Yeah. And he's been in London at the Olympics and in Rio as a mentor for the team. So he's just really a great guy. And I remember he said something. He was out watching the Nacras, and then he came to the laser course, and he said to me afterwards, "Oh, I really enjoy looking at real racing." And I was like, "Yes, he likes my boat." So just a great guy. And and in one more story in Rio, he was so everybody got a little bit sick, not really sick, but a little bit in the throat. And our chef was making ginger shots, and of course you have to drink a little bit at the time, not the whole thing. But he was giving us a liter of ginger lemon water, and he drank the whole thing because he didn't know that you only gonna do it in shots. Exactly. So the next day he was almost shitting his pants on the water. It was so funny, and everybody was, they were making fun of him that now he has the shits and everything, but it was actually because he drank this. That was funny.
You're a good interview, Gary.
He'll be coming back. He'll be into the soy sauce in Japan, will he?
Now,
so actually, what is the status of the Danish Olympic team in regards to the named athletes?
Well, we were doing really well in Rio, and I think the team is getting it's a little bit younger, and of course also a little bit smaller than in Rio actually, because like Jonas Høgh, for example, who's been sailing the Finn for quite a while, he's not in the team anymore, and I mean, we're doing really well, but we definitely have something to catch up, I feel like. But I think we're going to get there.
So has
your
complete sailing team been named yet? Or there's still some flying to go?
No, it hasn't. It haven't. So the trial is the upcoming Worlds next week in Auckland. And then Melbourne, the Worlds in Melbourne. So that's cool. Like the trial, and it's just getting the most points. So if you win, you get 20 points, and if you become second, you get 19 points. And then it's about collecting points. So it's all about that. And we'll see who goes after Melbourne.
Yeah, righto. Cool. So
it's gonna be really fun to actually watch, because I mean I have so many friends in that especially in the FX, the FX girls, and they're so close, so I'm gonna watch it every day and see how it goes.
Well, we know a few of them, so but before we go down that part, we've got in my little notes here, I've got this question I've got for myself. It says, "Don't take you snowboarding." What does that mean?
I was querying that.
Well, I was thinking after Rio. So it was after Rio I went snowboarding, and I broke my arm. And and I think that's why. But I was like, well, the only thing I actually done the last 2 years is sailing. And, I didn't go skiing. And so I went skiing with my family every year. And then because of all this Olympic and sailing and then I didn't do any ski. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go back on ski, but I want to try new skills. I want to learn new skills, because, it's all about learning new skills in life. Every time you learn something new, you're like, whoo, flying on a big sky. And so I went snowboarding, and I was actually, it was 2 hours or something like that. And then I was ready to the big mountain. And I went up there, and my dad was going after me, and I was like, woo, look at how good I am. And then I fell. And I broke my arm in places.
Yeah. But you're all right
Yeah.
now. So, all right. So we're not taking you snowboarding.
I am all right.
Yeah. But
Maybe after the Olympics next time.
oh, it's a date. We're on. We're all going snowboarding after the Olympics.
That would be great.
Yeah.
Maybe in Japan, actually. It's a good place for water sport.
Absolutely.
I can concur that Japan is a great place to go snowboarding.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I did a season in the snow once. I won't go into the full story, but ended up a lifty. Never seen the snow in my life.
Lifty expert.
I don't know how I managed it. Day one was very funny, clipping the skis on for the first time, and you're on the summit.
Yeah. Probably Emery wouldn't understand that growing up in the snow. You just don't understand that whole thing, but yeah.
No. I remember at the Opti Worlds in Switzerland, there was some guys from Australia seeing snow for the first time, and they were just making it up and, throwing it at each other. And I was like, what are you guys doing? Have you never been seeing snow?
The first time I saw it, I was the same. I ran outside. I'm snow angels. I'm running around and throwing on my head. And yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but Japan, definitely put that on the list. And Bicey and I can always organise meetings up in Japan. That's not a hard one for us at the moment.
Going to Japan in the winter again, Jordan. Fantastic.
I heard the Japanese yacht club's interested in some Bacardi lager, by the way, so maybe I need to get involved in that program.
Yeah. The Japanese... I was actually in Japan just a couple of weeks ago, and they're definitely into Bacardi, so that's good. Now, you've got a weakness. You've got a weakness, one that I clearly don't share. You've got a love for chocolate, yeah?
Oh, yeah. That is so hard to stay away from.
Tell me what your weakness is.
BP, you and I can just sit back for a few minutes here. Just let you discuss.
I was actually going to say, that I'm just going to just fade out for the next 2 minutes.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on the cricket score.
Literally.
So I'll give you some background to this banter, Emery. So BP's left. So Bossy and I travel a lot, right, together, to the extent that when we sit down to order, he could happily order for me and I could easily order for him and we'd have no issues, right? And so we were just over at Metz in Amsterdam and he bought like a bag of Mars bars and to try and, as a joke, he was having chocolates delivered to my room, he was having chocolates put in my bag, and they were trying to load up all my jackets and stuff, but they kept putting in the wrong people's stuff. So all these people were walking away and finding all these chocolates.
Yeah. Bloody Mars
Well, they
bars.
probably got to be happy about it.
I got him about 17 times, so we were happy.
Yeah, I've still got heaps of them.
Well, I mean, they're great if you get a little bit hangry, just take a Mars and then you're fine.
Yeah. Actually, while you're in Australia, it's being a chocolate connoisseur myself, have you heard of a brand where Bicey lives at the moment called Haig's Chocolate? Have you ever heard of Haig's Chocolate?
No. Have I? No, I haven't. Oh, I don't think so. Maybe I have. I'm not very good memory, so.
Can I recommend that if you and you might even find some in the airports, but I do recommend get your hands on some Haig's chocolate. It'll change your world.
So Haig's,
Otherwise,
as Haghs.
Haighs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll definitely.
Otherwise,
do
we'll
that.
send you some.
maybe we could put together a little bar karate care pack.
There you go. We could do that for you.
Oh, this company just keeps getting bigger. This company just keeps getting bigger.
Oh, bar karate chocolate.
No, the only thing I've had here in Aussie was the Tam Tam. Isn't it popular
Tim
here?
Tam.
Ah, that's Tam Tam.
Careful. Yeah, that was nearly dangerous. Tim Tams.
Is it good? Do you like it? Tam Tam.
Tim Tam.
Tim Tam, good. Yep, absolutely.
But Andrew,
all
did
Aussie
they
people
show
like it.
did they show you to bite each corner off and pull the coffee up through the Tim Tam? Did they show you that trick?
No.
Oh, you see, you're not quite there yet.
Do you drink
Okay.
coffee?
I'll still have some time here.
Or yeah, that's it. Do you drink coffee? Do you drink Milo? Do you
Yes.
drink tea?
Yeah.
Okay, so you got to
Yes.
bite opposite corners off. Okay. Put the
Okay.
Tim Tam in the coffee, and then
Dip one
pull the
corner in.
coffee up. Dip one corner in, and suck the coffee up through the Tim Tam.
The whole
It's true.
coffee.
This is true.
True.
Woo.
It's called a Tim
But
Tam
you can
slam.
actually do it, like you can actually use it as a straw.
Yep.
Yeah.
Pretty much. But Jordan doesn't drink coffee, but it works pretty well with a Coca-Cola for him.
Get stuffed.
Be careful. Be
It's
careful.
for the
Whoopi.
environment, right? They're saying all of these things about plastic straws and everything. Just use a Tim
Take
Tam.
shit house with beer, though.
I was just heading down that path. I could just imagine us having a go with beer.
Oh, hey. Now I know Bice's weakness. Have you ever tried biting the end off a sausage at each end and then sucking your beer up through a sausage?
There we go.
Now. Looks like we're up to discussion points.
We're up to discussion points. All right.
So it went from turkey to.
I've got a question, a serious question.
Yeah.
Once, and whether it's in your plans for when your Olympic career is over, do you have ambitions for the big boats at all?
Ooh, that's a serious one.
Yep.
I would like to do it. And after Jena, do you guys know Jena? That sail FX from Denmark. She won also the bronze in Rio. And she was on the boat in Vestas for the,
Yeah, we know her very well.
the World Ocean race. And after she told me that story, I was a bit scared, but it also sounds really, really great. So that kind of caught me a little bit. But yeah, I would really like to do a big boat stuff if I have the chance. But it also sounds kind of hard to get into that world.
No. Jenny Hansen. So, yeah, she definitely. We had a lot of time travelling around the world with her. So Boise and I, Bosie's done the Volvo several times and been involved and was the chief technical officer for the race last time around. And I was the guy that did all the, I was on the commercial side for the boatyard and stuff. So we've been around a few times with that. So we know the Volvo people intimately.
Yeah, that's awesome. I would really like to go, but maybe the chance will get there when I get older.
Well, it's on the agenda.
Yeah. Otherwise,
Definitely don't write it off, and especially the way that the race is going to go. And we're not sure how long the 65s will stick around for, but eventually it'll end up all IMOCA, of which, from a female's point of view, I think it adds more chances than less. From that point, you just got to be a fast sailor, and if you're a fast sailor, you're up there with the rest of them.
There you go.
Yeah, I hope so. But I mean, I also been thinking about it, and maybe I should get a little bit more so I can actually contribute to the team before, trying it out. I would really like to go, but I would also like to be, doing stuff and not just sitting there.
Part of Baccarati's philosophy is bringing fun back to sailing. I think if you brought that along to start with, you'll do okay. So you've already ticked that one off. So there you go.
And talent. All right.
I could definitely tell some jokes.
It's a huge start.
Yeah, I love it.
Jokes for 3 weeks. People will get so sick of me.
Good work. All right.
Oh.
Okay, a few discussion points here. BP, you've been doing a bit of sailing. This is breaking with our tradition. None of us get to go sailing.
Come on, mate. Don't get too carried away going yachting and stuff.
Yeah, what's this going yachting? You've been in Malaysia yachting. You've been serving cheese platters on the back of Team Hollywood the last few days at 20 knots. And now you're going south. You're doing the Hobart.
I am going south. Anne-Marie, I don't know if you know, but this time of year it's pretty crazy in Australia. The build-up to the Hobart in Sydney is pretty exciting, and it's all happening. And as you know, I was up in Rajamuda last week with Team Hollywood, and then I get a phone call during the week. They needed to get the 55, the Cookson 55, ready to go. Hasn't done any sailing this year, and for it to go, it has to do a 24-hour and 150-mile qualifier. So off we went for a sail yesterday. Took off about an hour before the Bird Island race started. It was about 25 knots of breeze, so it was very, very comfortable, and just with the reefing gear on, and we were having a cracker of a time. And there's a bit of footage I put on the website there, and we're going along at about 17 to 20 knots, and I thought this would be a good time to have a laugh, and I had a cheese platter in my hand, so they're driving along, and I've got a cheese platter, and there it was. Yeah, it was very funny. So
I won't tell you what he was wearing, though.
Comfortable in the middle of the ocean.
It was very comfortable. No,
didn't know it was that cold.
Yeah, it was lovely. It was lovely. Actually, I've got to tell you, the smoke haze from the fires it was actually quite uncomfortable out there. The boat, when we got up to up north, further north, the boat was actually just getting more dirtier and dirtier. It was like almost black on the deck. It was quite astounding. Right. Yeah, wow. And I felt like I'd been at a nightclub all night back in the day when they used to smoke inside. So it was pretty horrible, really.
Yeah, that doesn't sound fun.
Anyway, got back all safe and well. But in terms of the race itself, yes, I've managed to get myself on board a TP52 for the race. So I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, good work.
Wow, which team?
It's a boat called Envy Scooters, which actually they did very well in the Southport race, and so yeah, look, it's going to be a good session. Depends on the conditions though. This race is not an easy one.
No. And you took a good friend of ours and someone that listens religiously to the show, young Emily Nagel, out on the X.
Well, I was going to say actually that Emily might be a good contact for Anne-Marie in which path to take in terms of getting onto the big boats, because I'd never met Emily. I think she came in through you guys. She just sent me a WhatsApp and said, look, if I'm going to be in Sydney, I'd like to go sailing. So last Wednesday we met up, and off we went at the twilight. Took her for a ride with the X, and it was wonderful sailing with good people. I can tell you, it was she loved it, and we loved it, and we ended up with 4 or 5 young sailors on the boat, and it was just a wonderful time.
Yeah, she's a great lass, Emily. I got a lot of time for her. I think she's going to try and go south. So if anyone's looking for someone that's done the Volvo Ocean race and done it with the smile 100% of the way around and got a bit of talent, then definitely pick her up. For Anne-Marie, for your benefit, on Brett's boat, what he calls the X, it's like an 8-metre boat he's got with he's got his semi-rigid wing on it. So instead of a mainsail, he's got a double membrane sail up, which is like a semi, what he calls a semi-rigid wing. We just call it a semi.
Okay.
So if you,
I'm not sure if
I follow.
I got
I'm going to have to turn my video off.
So if you watch the America's Cup, in the new America's Cup, that's the rule. They've got to have, they can't have rigid wings. They have to have semis. And every Australian in the world's laughing right now. So they have to have these soft wings. And so BP's been sort of actually a world leader in this, testing this. So his little boat, he's actually got...
I've just got to let him go. You can't get involved with this conversation. It's how it is.
It sounds funny though.
It is funny, and that's what we do here.
Yeah. All right. Let's get past that before I get in too much trouble. I'll explain after, Anne-Marie, what we're giggling about. Fastnet. Jeez. Have you boys seen this announcement during the week? Anne-Marie, do you follow the Fastnet? The Fastnet at all?
No, I'm not actually.
Okay, so
not at all. I'm so bad at following things.
So
too much stuff in my life.
Yeah, no, we understand. So the big news is that they're going to change for 21 and 23. the finish line to France. What do we think?
Yeah.
Merd?
Nah, shitter. They've had one.
Right.
Merd, all right.
You know why they've done it, though?
I'm not sure.
Well, tell us why they've done it. Tell us why they've done it.
Simple.
Go ahead.
Where they're finishing in France, which is Cherbourg, has more docking capacity. Okay, so they can have more boats in the race because they've got more space, and in fact, it's actually only 70 miles from Cowes, whereas Plymouth is about 150 miles. So it's actually closer, and they've got more docking space, so they can do more boats. But it is a bit weird. It's definitely weird because it's like doing the Hobart, getting to Hobart, then turning left and going to Auckland.
Well, or like the Teakle Classic, the Mighty Adelaide to Port Lincoln, finishing in Tumby Bay.
I love that you got the Teakle plug in. They'll be happy about that. I saw a little note on that.
I was going to say, did you see that little note about it? Hey, yeah, thanks, guys, for mentioning the Teakle Classic.
Yeah, I don't know. You reckon there's cash involved?
Yep.
Never.
Yep.
Can't be.
Anne-Marie, have you ever heard of a place called Port Lincoln?
No.
Okay.
Have I? Yeah, maybe I have.
It's who's that?
That's a dog in the background.
That's at your end?
That's Bax.
It's the Portuguese
Bax.
dog.
Definitely heard of Port Lincoln.
Sweet dog. He definitely heard it.
Well, maybe
Yes,
this is your
Baxter.
actually.
Yeah, Port Lincoln,
I was
Air
just
Peninsula.
Just going to say your first offshore event. It's a good one. Go and do the Adelaide to Port Lincoln race. Bicey can hook you up.
Yep.
That'd be a great race to do.
Great.
Do you like?
And how far is it?
Well,
160 miles.
It's not a
And
long one.
Oh, that's not.
a week before your Worlds. Yeah.
Yeah, no, another year.
might be a bit distracting, especially the Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like seafood?
Yeah. I can always hook myself up with a hiking strap and then do some hiking over there.
Hey. Yep.
Yeah.
Positive
so it's
attitude.
great preparation.
Well, Andy
set it up.
Dyer. Andy
Well,
Dyer would have
there's-
a boat she could go on. She could train on. Well, I'm sure Andy Dyer's got a laser lying around there. She could be training on.
There is a full-scale bronze statue of Maccabi Diva there on the front lawn there.
Do you like seafood, Anne-Marie?
Seafood? Oh, I love it.
Well, there
That's
you go.
good.
You want to go?
You're born for.
Yeah, all the
The
best
Teakle
seafood
Classic.
in the world coming out of there. The Teakle Classic. All right, I think
It sounds like a lot of fun.
it will be. It'll be a good one. All right, let's move on. So are we up or down on the Fastnet move? The idea down on it. Bicey?
On the fence.
On the fence.
When I first saw it, I was like, thought it was an absolute. They'd had one, but when you look at the practicalities, in saying that, they got 350 boats anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, it's how many do you want?
Well, they've got 150
And,
boats on their waiting list.
The French are dominating as it is.
Yep.
Why give them a bit more of a leg up?
I don't know. What do you think, Anne-Marie?
Go on.
Anne-Marie, what do you have a view on this one?
Well, it's good food in France, so it's good to eat there.
It's the simple
Cheap
thing.
drinks, maybe also good party on the last evening. I don't know.
Good work. Good work. PP, did you want to say anything more, mate? Or I talked over you then. Sorry, bud.
No, it's right. It's just comes down to the world dominance. Just France seem to be really putting their foot down on everything. So I'd like to keep it in England, to be honest.
Yep. Okay. All right. Well, there we go. So they're having a go. There was a reason behind it. I just wanted to get that out there. But it's a big change. And it'll be very interesting to see how it affects the race. It is one where you can win a Rolex. So get over there, BP.
Yeah, I've got to get there.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. The World Yacht Racing Forum is going on this week. Bicey, you've been a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Anne-Marie, have you ever been to the World Yacht Racing Forum?
No, never.
BP?
Negative?
No.
Okay, so
Oh, sorry.
no, you're fine.
That's a
Keep
bit
chatting
late.
away. We're happy. And the dog wants to bring in.
Baxter's been.
It's called Buff. It's really sweet dog.
Oh, cool.
All right, Buff's been. Gee, been everywhere. Been to Lincoln. Been to the World Yacht Racing Forum. Everywhere.
And his name's Buff.
Buff, I know. Former captain, former coach of the Australian cricket team. Or Buff, as in meat. So the question I have is, attending the World Yacht Yacht Racing Forum, is it a rule of attendance that you must be a speaker?
Both times I went, I had to speak. Yeah, so actually, you're right.
I've looked at the list. Pretty much everyone that's going is a speaker. It's crazy how many speakers they've got.
Yeah. No, but it is all the top end of the sport. And from my experience, they use it to make a few announcements, and there were a few announcements that were made during the Yacht Racing Forum.
One we just talked about.
And you definitely know what is going to be said is then straight out into the media. And it covers all aspects of the sport, commercial media, the sporting aspect. One thing, when I was there, I'm not sure what happened this time in Lorient, but there was just a bit of a lack of the grassroots side of things. There's a lot of top end, but nothing from the bottom.
So
that was my key comment I came away with when I went last time.
So is it really about just sort of promoting your events? Is that what it's about? Like if you're
it's a paid gig in the sense of you pay to go.
Yeah.
And it's organised by the organisers need to make a profit out of it. And the world of yacht racing will continue if the Yacht Racing Forum didn't exist. But it's a good opportunity for everyone to sit down around the table. But as for exactly what comes out of it, still to be said.
What about, so if we were going to launch the Barker Ocean Race, it's probably where we should launch it, is what you're saying?
I was thinking of launching it in Port Lincoln, to tell you the honest truth.
Well,
what do you think, Buff?
He's not listening.
Let Barker.
No, I'm not sure.
Well,
not sure of that, to tell you the honest truth.
So the Barker Ocean Race, I haven't actually pitched it to you guys. I think I may have mentioned it once when you were listening, Bryce. Is BP? This is the one. It starts at the John Fisher Memorial Buoy, located on the Solent,
and
then
done this.
Done, and then straight to the John Fisher Memorial Buoy at Christie's Beach in South Oz. It's the perfect bar karate event. I'd reckon we get 2,500 boats entered.
Wow, that's a big call. Well, let's take it on. Well, the good thing is our event reach is actually growing. I mean, I don't know if you know that we've actually been approached by the Australian sports boats as well. So the attraction seems to be going on all aspects. So I think it's a good thing to go for the Barker Ocean Race.
There you go. I love it. All right. So one thing that did get announced at the forum was an addition to the Ocean Globe Race. They've added another division. Anne-Marie, you've been too busy to follow this. So does somebody want to give Anne-Marie an update on what the Ocean Globe Race is about before the additional...
I think Bicey should take this on. He's the man that can really go through this in detail.
I'll go 50 words or less, Anne-Marie.
Okay, sounds great. It's very informing. Nice.
Picture a yacht race in 1973. Your boat must be in that exact same state and compete in a yacht race that's taking place in 2023. 50 years later. 48. Thank you.
48 words. I counted 48 words. Beautiful.
Spot on.
So basically,
okay.
You imagine a boat from that era, but then there's no technology allowed on the boat, right?
That's pretty cool, isn't it?
It's cool. You like that?
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you do it?
A little bit old style.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too hard work.
Yep. Yep.
But
Maybe,
it's
but
kinda
they might have
cool
better
that,
accommodation down below and stuff. You know, you might have the oven and roast lunches and all that sort of stuff.
You think so?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. They're predominantly going to be
sounds-
Swan 50s or 60s going around, aren't they? Let's be honest. So they should be fairly well kitted out, but you're going to be exposed to the elements.
Didn't we bring in another rule that you actually had to wear clothing from the era?
Oh, yeah.
So if that boat was built in 1970, you had to wear 1970s wet weather gear. I mean, that's just how it is.
No, that's not.
You can't have you
I'm not
can't
into
have
that.
you can't have your cake and eat it.
Yeah, well, that's what.
Yeah. But basically, from our side, when it first came out, we scratched our head a little to find the logic behind it. The more and more we looked into it, the cooler it was. Like it is really going back to history of many round the world yacht races. It was also trying to save money so teams weren't going out there and spending huge amounts of dollars on boats and changing them and converting them to make it more comfortable. But then, by the sounds of it, our mate Don, who we should get on the show at some stage, has done a little roundabout.
Yep. But so you can't, like, you couldn't take an iPod or anything that you could listen to music through that was post the 70s, right? So you couldn't listen.
Oh, so it's about everything.
Everything.
It has to be the whole package.
Yep.
Everything.
Correct.
So you are actually out of your iPhone. You cannot bring.
Nope.
That's actually a good rehab from Instagram and stuff like that,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Yeah. Although, you know.
Well,
Or
if
just
you don't
social
want
media.
anyone to find out about it,
Yeah, I was just going to say, you're not going to get much race
Still
coverage.
really have your
Yeah, that doesn't
sponsors
make any
get
sense.
into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Or you
So-
have to do silly things like take a guitar.
Oh,
Oh,
BP.
that's a good idea.
You'd
Getting the
excel.
songs. Yeah.
Actually, our intro
just
and
think-
outro song BP wrote, and that's him singing. So when you hear it at the end, that's BP's work. So what's happened? So they got 15 entries so far into the event, but they've added the Classic Challenge. So they've announced this at the World Yacht Racing Forum. They've added the Classic Challenge, which means all the old Whitbread Maxis and the Whitbread 60s are allowed to compete in their own Classic Challenge event, which is, I think, 8 boats basically are entitled to be part of that. So that's the new addition. Have you guys heard that?
Yep. And I've been looking into it a little bit.
Yep.
And essentially,
Yep.
the entries will be allowed full sponsor branding
Yep.
and absolutely no restriction on boat signage. The crews also have access to all the usual electronics that are used today, including GPS, smartphones, SATCOMs, to the media, satellite video feeds, drones, weather forecasts, and computers. So sounds though Donzi's dropped his pants on this one, to tell you the honest truth.
So, yeah, which boat are you going to go?
Well, originally I was going in a Swan 65 and I was getting there quite modestly. And now you're going to get a licking the whole way around the world by these big maxis that have no limit
Yeah.
to spend as much money as they want.
Plus, there's plenty of them, and they're pretty cheap. There's plenty of those that qualify that are quite cheap. They're out there at the moment. So you could actually, you could do a pretty good campaign and get a lot of coverage because you're going to get good coverage. So from a sponsor's perspective, it's a cheap one.
Well, the cheap thing's buying the boat.
Yeah.
Still
True.
got to get around the world.
True.
And when there's no limitation,
Yeah.
as we know, it's going to probably quadruple, even more, 5 to 10 times more than the cost of this 165 to get around the world.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see that happening straight away. So has there anyone looked into the proposal of actually how they find a winner? Obviously it can't be, there'll be a line on us, but then what are they going to do? So introduce some sort of rating system or something, or what are they going to try and achieve there? Have lots and lots of divisions?
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess so.
Don,
Have 7 divisions in the race.
I haven't got
Should
the
be
telegram from Don yet.
Pretty easy to follow. No, in Don's defence, we should get him on,
Yeah,
honestly,
we will.
and get him to explain
Everything.
the decisions,
Yep.
explain the concept, because there's going to, if it's about getting boats on the star line, it's certainly going to do that.
Yep, absolutely.
Certainly going to do that.
Um,
So can't take that away from him.
Emery, do you have any sponsors?
Yeah, I do.
Who
I
sponsors
have.
you?
I'm from Horsens, which is like a club, a little club south of Aarhus. So we are 3 sailors that went together and trying to get sponsors from the local city. It's been great, actually.
Oh,
they're really supportive of
Yeah,
us.
good.
So
Do you reckon they'd
So
buy?
no chocolate sponsors?
no chocolate sponsors. I should get that.
There you go.
That's a good idea.
So have you heard about Baccarati
beer sponsor?
management?
Oh, God, you guys are
No.
idiots. Don't worry, ignore them. They're being idiots. They're being idiots.
You idiots.
Righto. Now,
But no, yeah.
let's move on. So, did you watch any of the Sail GP?
A little bit, yeah.
Did you
I'm
like it?
trying to get more into. I like it, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a good. I think it's nice to watch and a lot of excitement, and also good for more like tactical decisions. And then if you know some of the guys that are on the teams, then it's nice to watch. I like when you have a little bit, that it's not just strangers that you're watching sailing. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you have somebody to follow.
Who's your favourite male
it's better.
sailor out of everyone? Out of them.
I don't know. I think they're all great.
Oh, God. All right. Well,
That's probably a very good answer.
yeah. Doesn't make us laugh, though. So let's go on to that. So Ineos have bought the British Sail GP team, so Ben Ainsley can do a bit more sailing on the foiling boats. And Sailor Girl put up a little post. We better give her a little bit of a plug because she gave us a fair plug on her site the other day. Thanks for that, Nick. Sailor Girl, she's got some reactions from the skippers of the other boats. They've really soft-cocked it on their reactions, haven't they? They had a chance to throw out a bit of...
Mate.
This is straight out of the marketing department. Come on.
Yep.
Shall I run through some of... I don't know, Emery, did you see this where they got the opportunity to talk about Ben Ainsley joining the Sail GP? Did you see the comments?
Yeah, you sent me the picture, right?
Yeah. Okay, so
Yeah.
Outridge, Ben is one of the most talented sailors of all time. I would even go far as to say he's the new favourite for season 2. Come on, Nath. You don't believe that.
It's shit house, mate.
I first raced big, bad Benny as an 18-year-old punk after the race. He called me a little shit. There's been a lot of water under the bridge since then. See you in Sydney, Ben.
Boom.
Eh?
Yeah.
And
He
I
obviously...
said boom.
Yeah. No, it is absolutely shit out. What they should have done is ask all the other America's Cup skippers, Ben, what on earth have you done here? You've totally undermined our event. Shove it up your ass.
Well, Slinger's got the closest. He wasn't very soft. He sort of he came up a little bit. So Rome Kirby was pretty soft. But Ben, Slingers went, Ben, make sure you don't capsize. We've got plenty of sharks out here in Sydney. He's obviously known Ben quite a bit, so he was happy to give him a stir. Ben's first words, I don't know, do you guys know him well?
Yeah,
You sailed with him, yeah.
I did a regatta with him. I was lucky enough to do a regatta with him, and he didn't really say much. He's quite quiet, but I can't say much more than that. I never competed against him.
Emery, do you know Ben?
I think I spoke. No, I don't know him at all. But I remember before London, I had to deliver something from one of the Danish guys to him, and I almost was afraid to go over and say hello to him. So I was just at the end, I pulled myself together and I went over there and said, "Here, your stuff," and then I ran away.
Oh,
I know.
You ran away.
I was 19.
Bossy, you got any? You've had a few interactions, haven't you?
Yeah. Do you want me to tell you the truth?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
I mean, he's one of the best sailors in the world, and it just shows how competitive the Sail GP is getting, and it's motivating all the teams to get to the front. Nah, shit house. Sorry, that was Rome Kirby. That wasn't me.
I was just thinking. Oh dear. My first interaction.
No.
Go on.
So my thoughts here before you go into your interaction there,
No, I'll drop mine.
J-Dog.
I'm not important.
is if you get a chance to do a decent sledge, why not do a decent sledge?
I agree.
Just get the banter going.
The banter.
I'm 100%.
Get it
I'm
going.
100% behind this. Bring back the sledge. That's what I reckon.
Absolutely. You would have heard a few in your day, Jordan.
Yep.
Got any
I know
thoughts?
exactly what you're alluding to.
Hang on a sec. We need to make sure Anne-Marie understands what a sledge is. Anne-Marie, you on this program?
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same. What is a sledge?
There we go. I'll leave that to you to Bicey. Go on. Up you go.
Basically, between two teams, if you get the opportunity to try and put them off their game by a little bit of banter back and forth, I guess is the easiest way to put it in 24 words.
You'll say something to break their psychology or take their confidence away or make them doubt themselves. Yeah. Do you do that on the race course? Are you known for sledging?
I don't think I'm known for it, but I heard that if you ask somebody about how they're gonna perform today, if you're gonna ask them how it is, then you're gonna mess up their mental game a little bit.
Yep.
That is kind of like a trick. So if you ask somebody, how's it gonna go today? Like, you're really good at hiking, or saying something like, "Oh yeah, you're really good at this weather, right?"
Yeah.
Then you can.
Not
it's
bad.
a little bit bitchy mode, I know.
Reverse psychology there, but it sounds though there's a tad of sledging in the boat park potentially at some of the events.
So Bicey was alluding. So I've had the great fortune to sail with a few really sort of talented sailors. Like I'm a big lad, so I tend to end up on the wire when I'm on the dinghy. So I've had a few skippers, and one of the greats of all time is a guy by the name of Robbie Jewson, who'll be listening. We call him Fritz, and that's what Bicey was alluding to before. He said you've probably heard a few good sledges in your time because Fritz is the master of taking you off your game. And his all-time classic, and you can use this, trust me, this will work. This will get you a gold medal, all right?
This is from the coach, okay? This is from the super coach.
This is a gold medal, right? You ready? Anne-Marie's leaning forward, right? Oh, no, she's gone back to relax mode. So we'll be sailing upwind, and we're like, we're fighting for the win. We're right there. We're crossing tacks with someone, and he'll lean out the back of the boat as we cross tacks, and he'll just go over to them. Say, quite often we'll use his best mate's name, Ricky Clark. He'll go in very Aussie, broad Aussie. He's got German nickname. He's German heritage, but he speaks like the broadest Aussie accent. Hey, Clarky, one of us is going the wrong way. and you can see the when he does it,
panic.
You can see the look on the other boat as they just go, oh. The number of guys he forced into tacking. So you try that out in the race course. I could just see, Marit, one of us is going the wrong way.
No, but it has to be in a broad, thick Australian accent.
Yep, that's it.
I gotta try that out next time.
Good work.
But we all know Robbie's even got an even better one.
Oh yeah, go on that one.
When he was sailing against his son Nick Doosan, and they crossed tacks in a match race.
No, it was in the pre-start. It was the pre-start.
Yelled out to his son, "Hey Nick, I've seen your mother naked."
Oh, I can't believe you did that one, Bicey. She's a truly lovely woman.
That's a great one.
Yeah.
Cricketers use that one all the time.
I was going to say to Anne-Marie that quite often the mother the mother of the person being sledged comes into it, which we won't go into any of the sledges, but it's actually quite common for that to be brought up.
Also, the outcome of that one in that match race, when he did do that, it's important to understand that not only did his son's boat lose all concentration, so did everyone on his boat. So it had no benefit.
I actually did have a chat. I had a chat to our friend the layman about this, and he's actually thinking about it right now. So we might be able to bring him on next week or the next couple of weeks. He's actually thinking about how to compare sailing sledges to Great Aussie rules or cricket sledges. I think he's a bit stumped. He's a bit stumped with the Rule 69 though.
Oh.
Yeah, fair enough.
We'll revisit. All right. So all we're saying.
By the way, all those sledges allegedly happened. 100% serious. 23% of the time.
Yeah. All right. Let's roll forward. How are we going for time? Okay. So Brest Atlantique. Do we want to talk about that? They're into the northern hemisphere. It's all done.
It's Norway. Tell you the honest truth.
Yep. Do you know what we're talking about, Anne-Marie?
What did you say?
The Brest Atlantique.
Brest.
Are you doing Instagram while we're talking?
Yeah, I'm running down the sheet so I can read. So if I don't understand you, then I can read here. What are you talking about? Okay. Yes, I got it. Brest Atlantics. Yes.
Yeah, so the old team, the 100-foot trimarans out there racing, doing their little race. It's all pretty much done and dusted. Gitana's about a day in front of the other two. They're all in the northern hemisphere. They're not far from home. Happy days. They're just sort of covering the fleet, basically. So we'll move on.
Yeah.
Move on, but I mean, it's a hell of a feat. Let's face it.
Yeah.
Like to get those things 14,000 miles through the Atlantic. So bravo to them all.
All right. I just want to skip down a bit. Have we got any Secret Pro news?
That's a negative from my side.
BP?
I did have a little bit. It was mentioned earlier in the run sheet here, but there was a little bit of a whisper about when the AC boats, after a jibe or attack, when they're lifting the new foil out, they're just trying to work out the best time to do that. That was the word that was out that they're struggling with at the moment, because it causes so much drag, as you imagine it, lifting up out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just trying to work out, if you see a lot of the footage that's been around, they get through the jibe or the tack, and then they start the manoeuvre on the next board, and all of a sudden they just fall out of the sky, if you like.
Right.
So there's been a bit of talk about that amongst a few people that I've been sailing with over the last couple of weeks, and they're finding it a little bit tricky.
Okay.
So probably worth a topic of discussion at some stage.
Okay, so mastery of when they actually pop that windward foil back out and go from double foil to the single again, because that's pulling them off the jibe. They're pulling them back down into the water. Yeah, you'd want to get that spot on, wouldn't you?
I think it's critical. I think getting them down's not so much the issue because they're at full speed. It's actually after the manoeuvre and getting the old one up is where they're finding the very intricate. So we'll see what happens over the coming weeks as we get more and more footage.
Okay. Yeah, cool. Cool. I think we're going to do a bit of a chat. We've been promising it for a while. We're going to do a talk about the semi-rigid wings that they're using, and that won't be too far away. I think we've organised that, haven't we, BP? Or you have?
Yes, it's on the cards. I'm just waiting for the all clear from my my group.
All right. Is there any notable results from Rajamuda that you wanted to talk about? Because I want to get on to the Oceanics.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. We came second.
Okay. All right. Full breakdown of that one.
Look, can I say on a global sort of basis that regatta is really, if you ever want to do a really cool regatta, it's a really fun regatta to do. You start off in Port Klang and you head up towards Langkawi. It's a really fun regatta to do, and you really experience Asia at its best. They're all doing the King's Cup now, which is more windward leeward based, but this is sort of a bit of a rally, if you like, and the food and the hospitality is wonderful. So yeah, big plug for the Rajamuda regatta. If you want to do an Asian regatta, that's the one.
Great. All right, let's get Emery, you can perk up a little bit here now. We're going to talk about the 49ers, 49er FX, and the NACRA 17s. They've just had the Oceanians. They're about to start the World Champs. So we'll just quickly touch on that. So we'll go to the NACRA 17s. Ben Saxton, Nicolas Boniface with the win in the 17s. Billy Besson, Marie Rieu in second, and Tom Zajac and Barbara Martz in third. So that's pretty much to be expected, that sort of layout. I mean, Ben and Katie won. Ben won with Katie Dobson, I think, in 2017. And then, of course, Billy and Marie, they won it about 9,000 times in the NACRA 17, the world champs. So not too far off what we'd expect. Any tips for you? Do you know that fleet well?
Well, not really much, but there is a Danish crew and skipper that are really good, and I'm really excited to follow them. They're just trying to prove what they can do. So that's going to be exciting. I mean, there's so many good sailors in that fleet that is a little bit older and have been sailing a lot of different boats. So I wouldn't want to be the skipper in that fleet. Definitely not.
No. So that Danish crew is, I'm not even going to go the last names, but that's Alan and Annette, isn't it? Is that the crew?
No, they were in Rio, but they stopped sailing now. It's Lynn and CP, which are quite new. CP, Christian. He's called Christian.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
They're quite young and new, but they're definitely. I think they were fourth at the Europeans, so they're definitely going to be up there.
Did you have you sailed the 17?
I've sailed after Rio. Yeah, I tried it.
Tried it?
I was just about to ask
that.
I was just about to ask that question with you. Sailing your laser. Is there ever or a thought of moving into a double-handed program?
Definitely.
Okay.
After Rio, I tried the Necra, just not the foiling Necra, but the one that were in Rio, and I liked it a lot, and also the idea of sailing with a guy. I'm not sure sailing with another girl, but definitely open to sail with other people, because it gets quite lonely in the laser. So
well, you can
I
always
could just
go.
be so excited to learn from other people.
You could always go the double-handed offshore race.
There you go.
I could,
Yep.
yeah.
Look at the smile that's on her face.
I'm still a little bit into racing small race courses, so I'm not quite sure. Maybe I should try the Necra and 49er before I go off to some offshore sailing.
Yep. All right. Well, I hate to tell you, if you go the 49er FX, you'll have to sail with another girl. So, just so you know, which I'm sure you're aware of. All right. So their world champs basically starting, I think, right now. Actually, I think tomorrow. Right now, as this goes to air.
Yeah, the third.
Yep. So basically, as this goes to air, in the 49ers, interesting one here. Ben Bildstein and Dave Hussel from Austria had the win from the Spanish crew of Diego Botin and Lago Lopez Mata, and then Burling and Chuk into third, and the Langer brothers in fourth.
Langer brothers.
Langer.
Well, that's how I say it. How do you say it?
Oh no, I just love you going through all those names. It's a common theme here with us. You know, just the names, and then you get the Langer brothers. Yeah.
Well, legendary family, that one. Let's just say, because I think the old man, when did he get in the? He got fifth in the NACRA 17s. He's still going. He's untouchable, that guy. He just
Santi. Yeah.
He's just
Fantastic.
a legend. And the nicest bloke in the world, apparently. I don't know him very well at all, but I've been told.
Oh, yeah. We've already discussed this. Absolutely agreed with you.
Okay, great. So any friends in this fleet at all?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I know a lot of the guys, and it's going to be quite exciting to actually follow them, because there is 4 Olympic spots now, and for example, Ben and David, they didn't qualify yet, so it's quite spectacular that they are actually going up here and winning this regatta and before Worlds, and I know it's going to be a big deal for them to qualify here, and So it's gonna be quite exciting to see who's getting those 4 spots. I think I know the Spanish guys have not qualified yet, so they're also definitely in the top. And there are two boats, but I mean, for the Austrian, there are only 1 boat, and if something goes wrong, it can be really tricky for them. Only having 1 spot left in Genoa in the spring, so yeah. We're gonna see. It's gonna be exciting to see who's getting those 4 spots. Definitely, you want to get them in now and not wait for Genoa.
Okay, well, who do you reckon will win the gold in that class? If you had to put money on it.
Well, I think I'll put them on the stars. Like Peter and Blair.
Okay.
I mean, they've been winning so much. It's their home field, and they're doing so well all the time. So if I should put some money on them, I will definitely put them on them.
So Peter and Blair have got the 49er Olympics, then they roll into the America's Cup, and then so they've got the America's Cup boat they're sailing on, and then they go straight on to the ocean race. Well, I'm not sure if that's been published or that's secret, but whoops.
No, we'll just tell them
now
that.
it's out there.
100% serious 23% of the time. Does that get me out?
Yep, all good. Allegedly.
Hey, Bicey, what odds
There
have we got on Peter and Blair? What odds have we put on at the Baccarati book for Peter and Blair?
Bicey, you're making the book.
Currently 4-1.
4-1.
So there you go. So
early.
Anne-Marie, whack it on now. $100, 4-1. You could win. You could go okay because I'm no doubt it'll shorten by the time the Olympics come around. Yeah. So it's a good investment.
Yeah, they're gonna be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be hard
definitely.
to beat. Hard to beat, I think. But they're finding plenty of challenges coming from the rest of the fleet. So all right, and just to finally finish off in the FX fleet, the locals taking a win. So Alex Maloney and Molly Meach, congratulations in front of Martina and Kahina. So Martine Grail, who we know quite well, and Kahina Kunz. And then a US team, now that they've dropped Pagey as a coach, that's a team he's been doing a ton of work with, Stephanie Roble and Maggie Shee. So any thoughts? Oh, yeah, I can see you thinking this is right in your ballpark, Anne-Marie. You want to say something?
No, I was just thinking that I've not heard so much about the Americans, so that's going to be exciting to see which new different crews can do it really well. I mean, the Brazilians and the Kiwis are doing so well, and they have a medal already. And the Kiwis, I mean, it's their home water, so
that's it.
It can be a lot of pressure. I mean, last year we had the Worlds in Aarhus, and it was quite a lot of pressure and things going on around the competition. So it can be tricky to be able to do a medal in at your home country.
Well, that medal race in Aarhus for the 49er FX, that was just crazy. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was. I remember, was it the Austrian or something like that that capsized, and they were going into the wind, and crazy.
Like a probably 100-degree shift.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Sometimes you need a lift, huh?
Yeah, big time. So anyway, that's of interest because it rolls straight into World Champs, and so we're interested. I mean, Olympic classes, we want to talk a lot more about it. We've got a big interest. I'm really intrigued this next few weeks. It's going to be exciting. And then the subsequent week after these Worlds, then we get the Finn Gold Cup and then the Moth Worlds. So the Moth Worlds are going to be good fun as well. So we've got plenty to look at in the next few weeks. We're getting excited.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of things to follow the next couple of weeks. It's going to be exciting. Also, we have the Moth. It's in Perth? It's in Perth, right?
Yep, that's right.
So we can... I can watch it from the shore.
Oh, you should go down.
That's great.
Actually, Fritz's son lives in Perth. We'll have to get Nick Juicin. You'll love Nick. He's a great guy. We'll have to get Nick to. You'll have to go and hang out with him. He'll be competing. You should hang out with Nick. He's very. Let's just hook that up. You'll enjoy it. Trust us. You'll just have to trust us. All right.
That would be great to try his boat even, actually.
Yeah.
I was trying a couple of times, and the Moth is just so awesome to sail.
Yeah, cool. All right, there you go. That was good. We've worked that one out. We're getting close to the end, Anne-Marie. We're just about done. So just say to our listeners, if you want to contact us, reach out on Instagram or the Facebook page, or even at our website at barkarati.com. Do you understand what the word barkarati means, where that comes from?
No. You can explain it to me.
So have you ever gone into a bar after a race and you see people standing there and they'll go like here with their hands, and they'll go, I was like this, and then you came in here and then you tacked here like this, and they describe the tacks and everything with their hands? That's barkarati.
Yep.
Barkarati.
You're learning today.
I'm not sure how it translates into Danish, but
Actually, yeah. Let's get the
I'm not
Danish
sure. I
guy.
have to think about that.
Yeah,
Can you
back.
translate that directly? Obviously, bar being a bar you drink at, and karate being the sport. So
Yeah, come back to us on that one. That'd be good. All right, and if you do like it, share it with your mates. Just keep building. Like as you say, we're just doing this for fun. We're having a good time, and let's just keep it going. And we like to see more and more people listening. It keeps us fired up. So share it around. Right. As we finish off, I do want to say, Emery, it's been a ton of fun. You've been great. We've absolutely enjoyed it. We've got a few things to talk about yet, but just letting you know, you give yourself a high five. You've done a great job.
Thank you. Thank you for letting me be on the show.
Our pleasure.
thank you very much.
And thank you for meeting you guys.
It's good fun.
I really
huh?
have to look into my more like a professional sailing, bigger boats. I'll be prepared more next time.
Okay.
I promise.
That's all right. Your contribution was fantastic.
Really, you got plenty to concentrate on at the moment, I reckon.
Yeah. We'll be cheering
don't
for
rush.
you.
Don't rush. Don't rush. Just make sure you work out how to handle the cheese platters.
We'll be cheering.
If you
for
want to know,
champ.
if you want to know what that means, go to the barkarati.com website and have a look at the little video I put up there. That'll make you laugh.
All right. Okay. Now, we always ask a quiz question at the end. So last week's quiz question, which city is older, Lisbon or Rome? The answer is Lisbon is older than Rome. Roughly 4 centuries older, to be more accurate. Settled by the Phoenicians around 1200 BC. It is the second oldest European capital after Athens. Who would have known? Their footpaths haven't been updated since then, but,
Yeah.
Bicey likes that one. Okay, next week's quiz question. And I'm going to ask you directly, Bicey, what is... All right, here we go. What is xenosilicophobia? What is that the phobia of?
Oh, and I suffer from that, let me tell you.
There's
I
the
get
big-
all nervous, break into sweats.
I've got it right now.
BP's got it right now. Xenosilicophobia. That is the question. So that'll be the one we're looking for next week. Thanks, boys.
Gentlemen,
Thank you.
thanks for doing business
Thank
with you.
you.
Emery, thank you very much.
Anne-Marie, good luck with your sailing over the coming weeks, and we'll keep an eye on you and make sure we mention you as you
Thank
get
you
your
so
results.
much. And to you as well.
See you, listeners.
Okay.